The Hash It Out Show is brought to you by Barreto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, The Green Law Firm, personal injury attorney, Kaylin Parker of Magnolia Wealth Strategies, Moe's Pizza, Lance's AC and Heating, CC's Children Blocks, The Pierre Family in Lafayette, Louisiana, Drums,
Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB, the sports guy. We got a good one for you all tonight. We're going to talk a little bit of something that's going down with the Saints. Oh, man, it's not good. It's not good. And if I'm a coach, I don't want to come here under that organization with that administration because it's not a good look if it's really true. I don't know, man. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk a little Super Bowl 59, talk a little NBA trade that happened, and then we gonna get down to the top five because if you thought last week was something, wait till tonight because it's going down in the top five. Boys and girls, it's going down. Call your friends, text your friends, share this to each and every one of them. Share it to your cousins, your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your brother, your sister, all of them. Your aunties and your uncles. Yeah, them. Share it to all of them. Because when you get to that top five, it's about to go down. It really is. You thought it went down last week. It's going down this week. Of course, I got my fellas with me. We got VK Jones. We got GP George Peppers. What's happening, fellas? What's going on?
What's going on,
Y'all can't
people?
speak.
I,
God damn.
I was waiting on George to go first on it, but it's all good, man. What's going on, everybody? Subscribe to the Hash It Out Show on all social media platforms. Log on to the hashitoutshow.com. I don't know if this. I think this might be our only night that we're on this week, but at the same time, we thank y'all for joining us tonight. We have a lot to talk about, and let's get into it.
What's up, GP?
What's happening, JB? First of all, before we start, I sent you my recorded top fives for both girls and boys. I'm sure you
I
got
got
it.
it. I got it,
Okay,
brother.
good deal.
I got it in time. It's gonna be on here. Everybody gonna
Good.
see your top five.
Exactly. And then you talk about call your mom and all that. Like, makes me harken back to one of the WCW wrestlers from back in the day. Remember Ernest Miller? His
Yeah,
walkout song,
I met
somebody
him.
call my
I met
mama.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it is this is an atypical way to start Super Bowl week with what we're about to start with. It is supposed to be a celebration of New Orleans tying Miami for the most Super Bowls hosted. We're supposed to celebrate that fact. Yet, what we're about to start with is extremely disturbing and very, quite frankly, disgusting. It really is because because of the complicity involved and everything else. The one thing we're going to be careful as a show is not to blanket the faith involved. This is about the Catholic Archdiocese. We are not going to blanket the Catholic faith. You know, some people are going to make these assertions. They're going to be like, well, you know what they're going to say. We're not going to do that. We're going to be objective and fair. It involves our home team, though, the New Orleans Saints. And I guess, JB, if you want to, if we're
I'm
gonna
a,
lead this off,
yeah.
let's
Let me
go.
lead it off, and I'm gonna swing it back to you. So, what has happened is something that was in the news a good 5 years ago, maybe in 2019, a little bit of 6 years ago. At one time, there was a story that
Hmm.
did come out about the New Orleans Saints organization covering up the Catholic priests of the New Orleans area that supposedly molested boys, most likely altar boys. So, but then it kind of disappeared and we didn't hear nothing about it. Well, today it has resurfaced. NFL, and I read this from the Associated Press News, apnews.com. NFL emails reveal extent of Saints damage control for clergy sex abuse crisis. I'm going to read a little bit, not too much. New Orleans Associated Press. As New Orleans church leaders brace for the fallout from publishing a list of predatory Catholic priests, they turn to an unlikely ally, the front office of the city's NFL franchise. What followed was a months long crisis communication blitz orchestrated by the New Orleans Saints president and other top team officials, according to hundreds of internal emails obtained by the Associated Press. The records, which the Saints and church had long sought to keep out of public view, revealed team executives played a more extensive role than previously known in a public relations campaign to mitigate fallout from the clergy sexual abuse crisis. The email shed new light on the Saints' foray into a fraught topic far from the gridiron, a behind the scenes effort driven by the team's devoutly Catholic owner who has long enjoyed a close relationship with the city's embattled archbishop. And that owner is Gail Benson. They also showed how various New Orleans institutions, from a sitting federal judge to the local media, rallied around church leaders at a critical moment. Among the key moments, as revealed in the Saints' own emails. So I'm gonna read a couple more and I'll be done. Saints executives were so involved in the church's damage control that a team spokesman briefed his boss on a 2018 call with the city's top prosecutor hours before the church released a list of clergymen accused of abuse. The call, the spokesman said, allowed us to take certain people off the list. Team officials were among the first people outside the church to view that list, a carefully curated yet undercounted roster of suspected pedophiles. The disclosure of those names invited civil claims against the church and drew attention from federal and state law enforcement. The team's president, Dennis Lauscher, drafted more than a dozen questions that Archbishop Gregory Amen should be prepared to answer as he faced reporters. So I'm gonna leave it right there because there's a whole lot. But mainly what it's saying is the Saints cover up for these priests that did wrong to these children. I pass it to you, George Peppers.
And the top prosecutor you mentioned in that spiel was Leon Cannicero. He was the New Orleans district attorney at the time this whole thing went down in 2018. The Saints also filed an injunction to keep this out of the public view, saying that it did not serve the public's interest to know about this. So the complicity is right there. If that's not proof, what is? The fact that they went through that length to keep this out of the public eye, they made a concerted effort to keep this from the general public. Image is everything. Isn't that the Nike brand that they say is it image is everything? Well, this is a very disgraceful image that the New Orleans Saints have presented. The thing, and I mentioned this to you pre-show, JB, and I think I mentioned it in the chat as in our chat as well. And I want to bring this front and center. First of all, what happened happened. It is reprehensible. It should be punishable. There is no statute of limitations involving child sexual abuse. And this is the law enforcement person speaking. There is no statute in reference to child sexual abuse. So if the prosecutors want to come hammering, they can do it. Bring the nails, bring the hammer, and you're good. Um, but the thing I want to bring up is the timing of this email of this announcement. The timing. We are now into Super Bowl week. Both teams got here in one piece and safe. They got here safely. They are ready to finish their final preparations for the game Sunday. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. They're here. The fan bases are here. It's supposed to be a week long celebration of our city. But yet, here we are on a Monday night talking about VK, something extremely disturbing. But I wonder of the timing, and I brought this up, and I kind of want to bring it up here. I say the timing. I'm going to coordinate the timing with one commissioner, and and I know New Orleanians are going to say, "Well, Goodell hates the city." Maybe this is his vehicle for not awarding future Super Bowls to the city.
Well,
That they're going to have an organization doing this.
I'm not gonna
Just
say Goodell is the one who did this because the AP is the one that got the
they
emails
released
and
it,
put it out. The AP put this out,
right? The
not
Associated Press,
Goodell.
which is a great news organization. They are
Mhm.
very accurate in their assertions and everything else. But VK, to the Saints having the temerity and the effort to try to hide this from the general public, this should be an absolute five alarm. Easily five alarm. I mean, it should absolutely, as a citizen of New Orleans, you should be absolutely disturbed and really disgusted.
Absolutely. This right here, uh, it reeks. It reeks just disgusting. It's just I just have really I'm speechless. I'm freaking speechless of what I seen and what I looked at. I just can't believe what I'm seeing. For one, for two, my next the other question is this: what is the statute of limitations on this?
None.
It's been a long god doggone time.
Seven
What's the
years.
statute of limitations?
It's normally 10 to 15
Because
years, VK. I'll answer it for you, but
right,
so they're
thank
in
you.
the window.
Right. So if they're in the window, okay, it's understandable. But wow, taking that long to put something out, I guess the AP
Well,
has
remember it
declared
came out
themselves
in
they're the
2019. It
whistleblowers.
was out in 2019, and I think with COVID
Right.
hitting, and then it just went silent. We didn't hear nothing from it
Yeah.
since.
Yeah, but
Go ahead, VK.
the AP decided to put it out here now on Super Bowl week. What a time in New
I'll get to that in
Orleans,
a second.
just to create mess more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? And besides that, the New Orleans Saints, to be honest with you, the evidence is all there. It's just the fact that it's a crying shame for what they're involved in. And to be honest, I think that's a bad. This is to me a huge black eye. It's a huge black eye to the organization, a huge black eye to the city. Because now, looking at it, are we gonna get any more Super Bowls? Strong possibility, not for a while. Maybe not for a long time. Because that right there is just blatant disgustingness. I mean, insignificant, just irresponsibility of this organization in itself. It's a crying shame right now. And it ain't just the fact that we're struggling as a franchise and sometimes a laughing stock. Now this, I'm like this. If anybody wants to hop off the bandwagon, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all because this is freaking shameful. As a resident and also a Saints fan, it is shameful.
All right, I'm gonna hop up in here. Some things I want to say. First of all, I don't think the city itself and the people in this city, as far as residents, will be punished from getting another Super Bowl. This has nothing to do with them, nothing at all. So I don't think we will be punished from getting another Super Bowl. We'll get it. It might be 6, 7, 8 years from now, but we'll get it. So just believe me, relax. Number two, um, what was I about to say? Super Bowls. Yes, as far as the AP putting out this story, think about it, guys. Think about it. It's the biggest show of the year, correct? Super Bowl. So don't you think if you have a breakout story, you're gonna wait till Super Bowl week to put it out? So I mean, I'm not surprised this happened. They put the story out, the AP. They're gonna get the most clicks and views during Super Bowl week. Think about it. We just had an NCAA girls basketball tournament, and somebody from the Washington Post or whatever, I don't know, I don't even remember what it is. It may not even be the Washington Post, but somebody was gonna put out a story, a hit story on Kim Mulkey. Y'all remember that? And when did they drop that story?
Yeah.
During the NCAA tournament. So yes, these people are gonna wait for the most um opportune
Opportune.
time, yeah, to drop these stories. So here we are, New Orleans Saints. Super Bowl is where? In New Orleans. Bam. Let's drop it. So there you have it. They dropped it in the Super Bowl. It's a chance for them to make more money, more clicks, more views. That adds up. Now, let's get to this organization known as the New Orleans Saints and the people that work inside this organization. If all this is true, they all gotta go. And you start with Gail Benson. She gotta go. Just like what's your boy name that was the owner for Phoenix and you won for the Clippers? They
Sarver.
who?
Robert Sarver for Phoenix and Donald Sterling for the Clippers.
Donald Sterling. Yep. They did what they did. They had to go. Okay.
Yep.
Gail Benson, if she did all this to cover up, to keep those priests inside the church to keep working, she did all this, Gail gotta go. You can't be an owner here. No way. You can't. Not at all. You're guilty just like these priests that's doing this to these kids. You gotta go. If Lasha involved, he gotta go. The executives involved, they gotta go. They all have to go. Roger Goodell has to take a stand, gets enough evidence. They gotta go. Now, if I'm somebody looking to be a head coach and the Saints job is open and I got this in front of me and that owner and them are still there, ain't no way I want to be affiliated with that. There's no way. No. You don't want to work with people that's doing wrong. No way at all. Why would I want to work for the Saints? The owner is covering up priests that's doing wrong, molesting and raping children. Ain't no way. So if they did this, and I'm saying if, because I don't know everything right now. I'm going by what I'm reading for the Associated Press. But if they did this, they have to go. Gail Benson has to give up the team, sell it, whatever. She got to go. Straight up. You cannot have these people representing an organization that's called the New Orleans Saints. Keyword Saints.
Like that series, Saints and Sinners.
Hey, hey, look,
Saints and Sinners.
I'm just keeping it a buck, keeping it real. I mean, you can't have these people, cannot have these people at all representing this organization if they covered up all of that. You can't, George.
First of all, the question has to be asked. Do you think the NFL's already got contingencies too? They do. And first of all, you keep
Well,
saying if.
I don't know. To answer your question, I don't know. I would think they had these emails. I think Roger Goodell would want to get
No, no, no,
evidence
no.
of everything before he
Uh,
makes a decision.
that's not what I was saying. Is that they've got something in the bullpen ready to go in case this stuff is true.
In
And you
case,
talk about
okay,
if
I got you.
you talk about if, and if, but there's proof that $1 million was transferred from the Saints to the Archdiocese for quote mounting legal costs.
Hmm.
Didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Mounting legal costs. Yes, they did. They put out $1 million and then for media stuff, how to handle questions. You talked about Dennis Lasha and Greg Bensel. Look, I'm 100% in agreement with you. I think everyone involved got to go. And if you're an aspiring head coach and you see that Saints job open, and you're like, I'm not going to say it, repeat it unabashed, but because we're a family show, but it's like, what the bleep do I want to do down there? No, I don't want no part of that organization at all. And not to poke fun, but they might want to consider a name change. They might want to consider a name change because
I won't consider a name change. It's the people in the office.
No.
That's all it is. I won't consider a name
if
change. It's just the people
yeah,
in the office.
you've got to do a clean spring cleaning sweep and get everyone that's involved. There's gonna be a fall guy, and it's gonna be a group of people, but there's gonna be that one dude that's gonna take the most of the fall. Who is it? We don't know. And for Gail Benson to get rid of the team, you're asking a lot. And then, of course, you're gonna draw up VK the fact that she's a woman. Well, why are they making her sell? I bet if it was a man, they wouldn't sell the team. That's going to come up. That's going to crop up because female owners are frowned upon. Look at what's going on in Tennessee with Amy Adams. Um, she's married. I can't remember her married name. She's had to go through some hurdles with the NFL with other legalities. Nothing like this, of course, but this is
Of,
unprecedented,
of, of,
brother.
of course, right. You're right about that. And of course, with her case, Adams, you had to think about that. All that is from the damage of her dad,
Bud, the late Bud Adams.
Bud Adams.
Yep.
Exactly. That idiot.
Well, I can't speak of the dead like that, so I'm not gonna do all that.
I'm not trying to speak for the dead, but I'm sorry. It is what it is. It's what he done was
Let's
unfathomable.
let's take it back
Let's
here.
just straight up with me.
Okay, but
Yeah,
Let's take it back.
let's take
Yes.
it back to New Orleans. Let's
Take it
focus
back.
on New Orleans. What is the collateral
Yes,
damage?
Lord.
The question is, what is the collateral damage? What's going to happen? If the most that happens is to engage in prosecutorial actions and to clean this organization out, get the people involved out, I'm not a Saints fan. I will be 100% satisfied if I'm a Saints fan. If all the people involved are gone, and I mean, y'all know who my allegiance is, but if I'm a Saints fan and I am not, I would be extremely delighted, VK, if everyone involved is to not be here at all. Any residual effect, any residual people involved, get them out too. I don't care how minor your involvement is. See you later. Bye. If we're gonna endorse, you know, $1 million in covering up legal costs to allow rape of kids, look, of the three of us, you're the only father of the three of us. You have a daughter. So you could speak to this better than the two of myself and Jared can. And I know this has hit home for you, because of the fact it's like that could have been, I'm not saying that could have been or not, like I'm not trying to say that, but the perspective you bring as a father is a little different than what me and Jared are going to bring. We're bringing it, for me, I'm bringing it from the legal sense, the legalities, because I work in law, I work as a cop. So, uh, to me, I bring it in that sense, you know, and the thing at the end of the day is objectivity, but you are the only one of us that could speak to it as a dad. And the floor is yours.
Yes. Absolutely. It could not just happen to my kid, but it can happen to any one of us.
Correct.
Any one of us. So plain and simple with that, yeah. It does it need a whole cleanup if everything is exactly true? Yes, absolutely. Does the name need to be changed? No. It's the fact of the matter is that name so much meant for this city because this city is so resilient in everything in itself. That name cannot change. But everything else around the organization, yes, you need to clean it all up and just start from
what's up, Coach
scratch.
Sam?
And you also bring in an owner that's going to care about this city and to keep this team in this city. Because trust me, you don't want an owner that's gonna come in here and gonna be like, listen, all of a sudden you're gonna slip the Saints out the back. We better have if we bring in somebody new, we bring in somebody that's dedicated to this city and want this team to stay here and build from the ground up. So that's what the Saints need. They need a total washing. If all this is true and 100%, and Goodell steps in, it's time for a total baptism, washing in itself. Really
You talking
more
about an
deliverance.
ethnic
Really
cleansing?
more, really, yes, cleansing. Really more deliverance, cleansing and
Hmm.
deliverance. Anything else for this
I'm gonna
organization?
say this though, man, and I'll let George finish after this. It's a sad case that we got to talk about this because there are some sick human beings in this world, and for this to come back up, man, and to see that allegedly a lot of executives, even the owner of the New Orleans Saints, were trying to cover up this. It's just sad. It's just very, very sad. And if they are guilty of what allegedly is being said, they need to get out of the organization and charges need to be pressed to where they're doing time in jail. GP.
How can I finish? Y'all know the element I deal with on a daily basis, like my job. I deal with people that do this that engage in this kind of frivolous and disgusting and reprehensible behavior. I deal with this stuff on a daily basis. I'm not talking about clergy or anything like that, but I'm talking about people that engage in this kind of behavior. And I'm not going to disclose names or any of that stuff. That's not to be discussed. But the fact that I see it, and you want to say you try to be numb, but you can never be numb. It's just, and I don't have a kid. I don't, and I'm just, what if for the time being, if we're talking about getting rid of Gail Benson and the people involved, do what the Green Bay Packers do. They are a public trust organization. They have numerous people involved, ownership. There's not one, there is a CEO kind of owner, but there is like a conglomerate of people involved that own that franchise. Do what they're doing. If you can't find, like VK's talking about, we got to find somebody that's going to keep them here. Get a group of New Orleanians that are dedicated to the city. Get a CEO involved. Jared, maybe you. I'm goofing around when I say that. We should do a Hash It Out Show GoFundMe page to get us to buy the Saints, but that's another story. Maybe we'll visit that. But do what the Packers do. The Packers are a publicly traded organization. They are. There is one person in charge, and there's a group of people that have a stake in the football team. And look at the loyalties that they've shown: season tickets, backups. I mean, stability. When was the last time you saw Green Bay horrible, like 2-15 or something? When was the last time you saw that team that bad? It's been a while. It's been a while. They've had some rough seasons, but nothing to that extent. All I'm saying is if you cannot find an owner, VK, if you can't find an owner, like one person, some people saying Master P or whoever, a New Orleanian to buy this team. I'm not saying all that, but do what the Packers do. Why not invest in that and let's do it that way until somebody with deep, deep pockets decides, hey, wait a minute, let me up this up. Let me up my game and buy this team.
Hmm. All right.
I know who big time on this one. And I think this person needs to step up and do it. And I said it before,
To buy the
and I'm going to
Saints?
say it
To buy the
again.
Saints? Who you got?
Yes, to get a group and go get the Saints. 2 words: Tyler Perry.
I thought he was from Atlanta.
Tyler, no, he's from New Orleans.
Okay.
He is from New Orleans, born and raised.
I see.
His empire is in Atlanta,
Right.
but at the same time, it makes sense to come home, not just come home, but buy it and have a group with Master P or whoever else to have a group together. That's a multi-billionaire. And it's the one thing I've been saying. It's about time for some of our successful people of color to step up and get something. Look at Magic Johnson. Look at Magic Johnson. He has helped out turn around 2 franchises, the LA Dodgers and the Washington Commanders. Look where the Washington Commanders are right now.
He said Tyler
Got to the
Perry.
doorstep of the Super Bowl.
It's,
He said
come
Tyler
on,
Perry.
that's not a laughing
Oh
matter.
Lord.
That's not funny. No,
Yeah, it
that's
is.
serious.
said Tyler
Okay,
Perry.
Jared, I need to hear this counterpoint, Jared. What is it?
Why is 11? Why
Ain't
is
no
11?
Tyler
Why is
Perry
11 matter?
coming to be the owner of a Saints. Ain't happening.
Huh?
Tell me why.
No, but I'm saying have him be a part of a group or own a group.
I like
He don't
my
have to be
idea.
the total owner,
For the record,
but
I
have
like
a
my idea
group. You
better.
know what I'm saying?
All right.
Well, your idea, but like we would like to have a group of people that has good enough pockets to be a part of it. Your idea is good. I'm not saying it's not a bad idea
No, I
at
don't.
all. I like the idea you have.
Hmm.
I like the idea of having collective people to being owners of the Saints. I like that. I just had an idea of, and I know Jared is laughing, but it's a serious thing, man. He's a multi-billionaire from here. I always said people of color who are now very, very successful should have an opportunity. Like I said, Magic Johnson, look what he has done. I'm telling you, if Tyler Perry can just at least get a group, he don't have to be the full owner. Get a group of people to come together to buy the Saints, take over as a group, and go ahead with the franchise. He ain't got to be in the world. He just be part of this group.
Nah.
You know, I'm telling you, that'd be really huge to do. Between that and that's two good ideas. I'm saying because sometimes we want to get some kind of owner that is going to be competent and do what they got to
What
do
up,
and care
Sanabi?
for
What up,
not
Swaggy
just for the
P?
franchise in the city.
All right, guys.
So that's
All
just what
right.
it
On
is.
that note, we are taking a commercial break. And before we go to break, George Charles Allen says, remember this, Riverdale 30, January 27th. So
That's all right.
we're gonna take a
Ooh,
commercial break and we come right back.
gotcha.
We're gonna talk about Super Bowl 59 right here on the Hash It Out Show.
Hi, I'm Erica Randolph, head coach of the Hahnville Tigers boys basketball team.
Hey y'all, this is Jen Hale from Fox Sports. You're watching the Hash It Out Show with JB the Sports Guy, VK Jones, and George Peppis.
Are you in need of a new windshield? Leo Autoglass can help. For 20 years, Leo Autoglass have been servicing the New Orleans area with windshield replacement and auto glass repair. Give them a call today, 504 301 8353. Did you experience storm damage from Hurricane Francine? Barretto Home Solutions can help. You can give them a call at 504 940 7552.
Green Law Firm is a full-service law firm specializing in personal injury, criminal law, successions, and family law. With over 25 years of experience, the Green Law Firm continues to provide efficient, competitive, and effective representation to clients throughout the state of Louisiana and all across the nation. Consultations are free. If you're looking for results, call the Green Law Firm at 504-328-3990. That's 504-328-3990, located at 931 Westwood Drive, Suite B in Marrero, Louisiana. The Green Law Firm.
At Bayou AV Security, we are your one-stop shop for all your needs, whether it's enhancing your home entertainment system, securing your property, ensuring a seamless internet connection, or illuminating your outdoor spaces. We've got you covered. Bayou AV Security, where technology meets reliability. Call us today to experience the Bayou difference.
And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy with George Peppers and VK Jones. And as you know, coming up on Sunday, it will be Super Bowl 59. The Eagles and the Chiefs, Part 2. Mahomes, Hurts, Pacheco, Barkley, Hollywood Brown, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Travis Kelsey, Dallas
Got it.
Goddard,
Hmm.
Devontae Hopkins.
DeAndre,
Yeah. I'm sorry.
that guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yes. Super Bowl 59 here in New Orleans is going down. And we're going to talk a little bit about it. I'm gonna start with George Peppers. George
Mhm.
Peppers, who is going to win Super Bowl 59?
Always- And I don't know if Philadelphia played like they did against Washington. I don't think they limit what they did. Look at it. Giveaways in that game, and that led to 21 points. That pretty much necessitated the margin of victory. They won by 32. A key to this game, and I hear the conspirators saying, "Why watch? Because the teams are going to win anyway. Because the referees are in the hip pocket." You know, um, Philadelphia looks like they got a swagger with Saquon Barkley, and as a Giants fan, it kills me to say this. It really does, because that having to rewatch Hard Knocks and seeing that impotent GM, well, ain't nobody gonna sign him. We'll see you soon. Okay, look at him now, 2,000 plus yards. How many touchdowns in the playoffs? Seven, I think, right? 7 or 8. He's had in these 3 playoff games, something like that. An incredible performance. That's one of the biggest keys is what Philadelphia to me, if you're gonna beat the Chiefs, and I told this to you, VK, on the chat, and to you, Jared, get out fast. Break the game. I'm gonna use a horse racing analogy. Break running. Get out fast. Force Kansas City into an element they're not used to. This is not an explosive Chiefs offense. Can they hit the big play? Yes. But by nature and by definition, they're not that team. But they have been in the past. They don't have a get off the top receiver. Kelsey is a little older. Pacheco is just getting back. If you look at the receivers, is Juju still there? Yes. Worthy is the only burner they got, but you could blanket him. You. To me, is something no. Okay, talking about the past dangerous front. I think that that's going to be a very important. What is the one thing we always talk about? Special teams. Guess who's been shaky these playoffs? Jake Elliott. He has not been anywhere near the accurate kicker he's been. If this game is close and he needs to make a kick, can the Eagles put their faith in him to knock one through the dome uprights? Weather obviously is not a concern because we're playing indoors. And for those that are looking, Kansas City's -1.5. The over under is 48.5. The last time these two teams played, 73 points were scored. 38-35 Kansas City. And it ended on a controversial call. Jareth Bradbury committing a defensive hold, which Greg Olson said it, and I said it too, is a marginal call. You could let that go in that spot. For my pick, though, I said this to my parents because we watched the games together. Soon as Philadelphia won that ball game, I said I didn't care who won the AFC title, whether it was Buffalo or Kansas City, Philadelphia, and I'm not rooting for them. As a Giants fan, I am picking them to win Super Bowl 59. Final score: Philadelphia 34, Kansas City 24. Eagles by 10.
VK.
Whew. Wow. I'm hoping that we can say Super Bowl because you know how some people you can't really say it, but we're clear we're all good. You know what I'm saying? That was my only concern. But at the same time, this is going to be a real good game here once again. Probably going to be almost like 2 years ago. You know how they went at it. You know, it's going to be possibly, I don't know about another shoot up, maybe so. You know, but my thing is like Philadelphia presents a very good challenge for Kansas City. A very good challenge. The way they run the ball, the way they move the ball, especially, and for Jalen Hurts, he can make plays, but he's got to be accurate. He has got to be accurate, especially this ball game here, to just make sure he gets his passes to his receivers, make his connections, and make plays. You know, if Philly does that and they get a good lead, they should win the game. But at the same time, this is the Chiefs. This is the Chiefs, man. If they find a way, the thing is, you don't want to get in a close game against them. Not at all. You know, the living on the edge stuff might not last. for Kansas City, but it is hard to go against Patrick Mahomes. It's really, really hard. Expect this to be another great Super Bowl between these two teams. I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning by field goal as they three-peat. Don't be surprised. You might have some official involvement in that ball game as well. So Kansas City by field goal to three-peat.
My turn. What was the main thing that was missing from Philadelphia 2 years ago?
Running, running back.
Oh, running back. Running back. And who they got now?
They got one now.
What? What'd you say?
Keith,
Oh, yeah. That former New York Giants running back when the
that yeah,
Giants
that guy,
thought no one would
that
pay him.
dude. Yeah, the
Oh,
one that said he wasn't getting paid. Sure, okay.
yeah. Saquon Barkley. And man, I said it all year. In my opinion, that's the MVP. Definitely the offensive player of the year, but I thought it's the MVP. But that adds another dynamic to the Eagles' offense now. So you just can't key on the Jalen Hurts and the Saquon Barkley. You got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. You got Dallas Goddard. It's just weapons galore. But on the other side, the Chiefs defense has held up for most of the year, helping their team win. And then the Chiefs finding ways to win every ball game. We talking 17, 18 straight games that they won by one possession. One possession. That is unheard of. Unheard of. You haven't seen the deep passes this year like we've seen with Kansas City before. We haven't seen that at all this year. But they still finding ways to win. And when a team can find ways to win, it's hard to go against them. It's hard. I want Jalen Hurts to win. Yes, my want is for the Eagles and Jalen Hurts to defeat the Chiefs. But what my head is telling me, some kind of way, the Kansas City Chiefs will find another way to win. My head's saying the Chiefs. But Jalen Hurts, you know I'm pulling for your brother. I always have. Always. And I
That,
still am.
that's
He's
Roll
been so
Tide mentality.
maligned though since college. He has been maligned since college. He's not the drop back quarterback. He can't be that dude. Remember they said that about him at Bama, and then he went to Oklahoma. He was called the sour grapes quarterback, and then he got drafted by the Eagles. It's like, why'd you take him? You already had Foles as your starter. Remember that draft? Was it 19? I think they took Jalen, something like that. And
It
right
might have
after they
been
won the
it might
Super
have been
Bowl.
20. It might have been 20.
Yeah, 20. They didn't win it though. They won it in 19, and then Tom Brady left and went to Tampa after that Super Bowl. Uh, and then he won it when they beat the Saints on the way. But no, regardless, Jalen got drafted in the second round. It was like, well, he'll never start for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's
I
not
didn't
that
say that.
dude. No,
I said future that's their future starter. I said it right then and there.
no, not you, not you. You know the draft next, the Todd
Oh, I
McShays of
know.
the world, who I don't miss.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't miss Todd McShay. All right, I'll say
I
it.
do.
I'm unabashedly not a fan of that dude.
I miss my boy
Mike
Todd McShay.
Mayock,
Oh,
huh?
Mike Mayock don't know what he be talking about. He can roll.
I mean, Todd Mc
Yeah, he can do all that too.
Yeah, Mike Mayock
McFly, I'm
is
kidding. Another one?
when you put another defensive tackle number one over Ndamukong Suh, you don't know what you're talking about.
No, you don't. Your
You
credibility goes
ain't
out
got
the
no
window.
idea what you're talking about.
I forgot who he
Straight up.
had over Sue, and it's like, damn, Sue's a murderer, and you got that dude ahead of him.
Yeah,
Bless your
it was
heart.
Gerald McCoy. It was Gerald McCoy.
From
Gerald
Tampa. I mean,
McCoy was
he's
good.
good. He
Yeah,
was
he
good,
was
but he's not
good.
Sue.
No, he wasn't no Sue coming out of college. No.
Not at all. But my thing is like this about Jalen. He has been so vilified and underappreciated. Philadelphia has embraced him now. They have really taken in love to him. And remember what they said before the NFC Championship? Well, he's got one leg. He's not thinking about the team. He's thinking about himself by playing. Oh, look at the stat line from the championship game:
Yeah.
261, 3 touchdowns throwing, one running.
Yep.
Y'all go to the back of the line, STFU. Okay, stop it. Cut that noise out. Y'all leave the man alone. I want to see Jalen get a ring, and they should have got it 2 years ago. But the Bradbury call, look, I'm stewing because that was a horrific call in a very big spot. How do you call a judgment call late? Bradbury did admittedly put the armor on him, but it was not egregious enough to make that call. You let that go. You let that go. Let him play. It's the Super Bowl. It's not a regular season game, gentlemen. It's the Super Bowl. And sure enough, what happened? Harrison Booker trotted out there, basically akin to an extra point, doink, through the uprights.
Yep.
So y'all didn't give scores. I see VK set a field goal to KC, and you picked KC as well. I didn't hear a score prediction, though, from both of y'all.
24-20.
Okay, so lower scoring, VK.
31-28.
Kansas City, right?
Yes.
Okay. And
Okay.
this man called me
Yep.
and said, "Man, these referees are for the Chiefs. These referees are for the Chiefs," and he's picking them. I get it, just picking, but I get it. You know,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Pro Bowl was
indeed.
yesterday.
Who?
The Pro Bowl. I'm kidding when I
Ah,
say that.
we moving
I'm
on. We moving on
joking when
to
I say that.
that. All
Right.
right, everybody. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. So within this quick commercial break, about a minute and 20 seconds, go tell everybody right now. We about to get into our top five girls basketball teams and our top five boys basketball teams. Go tell everybody right now. It's about to be on and popping. Everybody that's watching right here on the Hash It Out show.
Hi, my name is Micah Higgins, head boys basketball coach at Bonneville High.
Hey guys, this is Arkisha Baquet, the owner of Little Dizzy's Cafe. I am here with VK Jones, who is a part of the Hash It Out show. We're coming to let y'all know what they got going on, and Dizzy's is a proud sponsor of the show. Tell them what we got.
Well, the Hash It Out show now has been on the air for 3 years, over 100 shows and everything. Right now, we got Legends Month. We are interviewing the best players that ever played in the state of Louisiana, so join us for that. But at the same time, we got the Hash It Out show game of the week. We're going in year number 2, making a lot of changes this year. So we're looking forward to seeing what happens. We'd like to thank Miss Arkisha and Little Dizzy's Cafe for sponsoring us. This is one of the best restaurants in the city of New Orleans, in the 6th Ward. Come over, I'm telling you. And I hope a lot of people just come by. We had last week, they had Essence Fest, and I'm telling you, it was
Great
packed.
success. Great
Oh
success.
my
So
goodness.
if you're in the area, come and see us at 1500 Esplanade Avenue in the Heart of Tremay and experience some of the best Creole soul food you'll ever have in your life. Because the food is always hot and straight.
Yeah, the food is always hot and straight out the pot at Lil Dizzy's. Welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm JB the Sports Guy. We got George Peppers. We got VK Jones. We about to dive into the top five. Yeah, it's about to get on and popping up in here. I'm telling you, it's about to get on and popping. But we're gonna start with the girls first. And I'm gonna put my girls up first, ladies and gentlemen, and there you see it right there. My top five girls basketball teams in the state of Louisiana. Number one, Parkway, 20-2. Number two, Walker, 27-1. Number three, Wassman, 21-3. Zachary, number four, 19-3. And John Curtis is number five at 14-3. So if you watched the show last week, you would see that my list did not change at all. The same five teams stayed on the list, and the same five teams stayed where they were. What you want to say, fellas?
Do you want me to take it first?
Yeah, go right ahead. Jump
You
in.
got that, baby. You got that.
Yeah.
I look. You and I are in lockstep as far as the teams that are in the top five now. It's a little slight bouncing around with mine than it
We're
is
gonna get
with
we gonna get
you.
to it. We're gonna get to it.
I
Don't
know,
tell
I
me
know,
yet.
I know. I'm not going to reveal. I'm not
All
going to
right.
reveal. But I don't have any issue. And after watching John Curtis last Thursday night, the three of us were in the building when they knocked off at the car. That was a pretty emphatic statement they made. Alondra Brown and her group made last Thursday night. That was a very convincing win against a high quality car team, and they really handled business that night. They're
Mm-hmm.
going to be a very formidable foe come playoff time in Division One Select. They're going to be a major, major migraine for a lot of teams. We might just see that team get to Hammond. We might see them at Southeastern in March or late February, early March. So I don't have an issue with your top five at all, Jared. I mean, it's a pretty astute top five. It's the same as I got, but I don't have an issue with it at all.
We'll get to that. Your thoughts, Mister VK Jones?
Oh,
I respect. I respect it. I respect what the top five is right there. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem. It's what you think. I know what your standards is. So, it's fine for what it is right now. You know what I'm saying? If
mhm.
you got you got Walker right there, so it's cool.
It's fine for what it is. Y'all heard that? All right, we about to go to George Peppis's top five for his girls. And why this thing changed up on me like that? I had my things crazy thing. Where you at? Here you go. George Peppers. Yeah, George
Oh, I got
Peppers.
music.
Yeah,
Whee!
George Peppers. You got that music playing, brother. All right, so here's George Peppers. He keeps Walker at number one. Even though with the one loss to Denham Springs, he kept him at number one. Cool. I ain't got a problem with that. He has Parkway at number two, 20 and 2. He got Zachary at number three, 19 and 3. He got Curtis at number four, 14 and 3. And he has Wassman at number five, 21 and 3. I'm going to go first. So me and my man GP, we got the same five in the top five of the state. Cool. Great. Awesome. Now, this is where I disagree with George Peppers at. Of course, I got Parkway number one and Walker too, but that's cool. This is where I disagree with George Peppers right now. So he has Zachary 3. He has Wassman 5, Curtis 4. When I look at the Wassman, Curtis, and Zachary situation, okay, some kind of way all three teams have played each other. Wassman has beaten Zachary and Curtis. That's why I got Wassman ahead of both of them.
Hmm.
Zachary defeated Curtis. That is why I have Zachary ahead of Curtis. That's why Curtis is fifth on my list. Wassman
Hmm.
has third. Zachary is fourth. Head to head is important, along with strength of schedule and everything. And with these five being the top five in me and George's eyes, also got to look at head to head. And Wassman defeating those two teams says a lot. Wassman and Parkway have played twice. Each one got a win on each other. So take it for what it's worth. But that's why I disagree with George. Wassman beat third because they beat Zachary and Curtis, and then I have Zachary and Curtis. VK?
Well, I could see where you're coming from with that and everything. But at the same time, Wassman, the thing about it, and I know you're gonna probably try to put holes in my Swiss cheese in the top five, but we understand about head to head, but also we need to think about what you do every week as well.
Oh, you say every week as well. So
Every
yeah, keep
week
going back and
it
look at the
counts.
beginning. Look at
It,
who you played.
not just in the past,
You
but
can't just look at
each.
1 week, man.
Yes,
Come
you
on,
do
bruh.
because listen, you
No,
listen.
that's the
Listen
case. A 0-10 team win last week, and they could be number
hold on,
one. Come on, VK.
hold on, brother. Hold on. I get it. Hold on. Here's the thing. When you look at everybody else in their resume, why you think you have seedings at the end of the year to look at what your resume is. Each week, everybody has to perform. But at the same time, some opponents that might have the bigger win, you have to reward that team. You have to. Because the thing is, especially if it's a top five matchup, if it's a top five, and they get to win
Oh,
against
so
a top
automatically a
five.
top 5 matchup, you got to draw them up above a team? That what you're saying?
You got doggone right.
No, you do not. That is
Yes, you
crazy.
do.
That is
That's not
crazy.
crazy. That's
Yeah,
not
it is
crazy.
crazy. Oh,
I'm
so
taking
hold on,
the
hold on, hold
formula.
on. So next week,
Go ahead.
so come next week,
Go ahead.
if Catholic beats Liberty, you telling me you're gonna jump them over your number 1 team right now?
You got doggone right because it's a
You-
top 5
Man,
opponent.
you can't, bro.
It's
You
top
can't do
5
that.
matchup. It's a
You
top
can't do
5
that.
matchup.
No, you
It's a
cannot
top
do that,
5.
man. You gotta look at the three.
I'm
Those
going
3
with
teams
the
all have a
formula.
win over each other.
Hold on.
You can't look at that. You sound
I'm going
crazy,
with the.
bro.
I'm
I
going
told
with a
y'all
college.
it was
Listen
going
to me.
down. I
I
told
am
y'all it
going.
was going down.
Listen to me.
And look,
Listen to me.
we didn't even
Hold
get
on.
to the boys
Hold on.
yet,
Let
and
me
we
make.
fussing about boys
Hold
right
on.
now. I
Hold on.
told you
Let
it
me
was
make
going
the point.
down, fans.
Let me make the point. Let me make the point. I am going with more of a college basketball formula, and
No,
that's
you
what it is.
not.
Yes,
Ain't no college
I am.
basketball
How
formula.
many times?
No,
Hold
it's
on.
not.
Hold on. How many times you see top 5 opponents got leaked over because you had a top 5 got doggone matchup? How many times? We've seen it a bunch of times in the last 20 years.
Man,
We've seen that a bunch of
okay,
times.
but did they jump a team they beat?
Yes.
Did they jump a team that they lost to?
Yes.
Only in regards to a record. That's it. To a record. But if it's the same record and that team won, they are not jumping that person.
I
Not at all.
remember. I remember to this day.
Yeah, jump
I
in.
remember to this day. I remember to this day that there was one year they had a top 5 matchup, and it was between Kansas and Oklahoma. Oklahoma was number 2, Kansas was number 3, and it went all the way down to overtime. Kansas wound up winning that ball game. Whoever was number 1 that week, they played some teams. Yeah, they got the win, but at the same time, that number 3 leaped to number 1.
Okay, that yes. But did Kansas play that team that was number 1 yet? They probably didn't. I understand that. But when we got teams that have played each other, different story.
Yeah. That's that. I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, look, I'm like this. You got matchup. We're not trying to penalize people. We're not trying to do that. I'm just saying
You penalizing your number 1 boys next week by automatically saying if Catholic wins, I'm putting them number 1.
It's a top 5 matchup.
I don't care. A number 1 team in another division and beat one of them teams.
But you need to, because the thing is, if that other opponent ain't really playing about, they win, but dude, you gotta go with what the best win is on the week too.
You gotta look at the schedule and how many best wins that team got.
But that's why you got the end of the season for.
Go ahead, George.
Go ahead, George.
Because we just get started, y'all. George, grab your internet from 2024 and bring it to 2025, please.
Wow.
It's still there. It's still in 2024. Grab it, George. Grab it and bring it forward. No, it's still there, George. You can grab it. You gotta grab it all. You gotta grab it all, George. Come on.
Internet. Come on, George. You're almost there.
Come on, George.
Uh-oh.
See? Told you.
Trying to come back. Come on back. Reset and come back, my friend.
I got it.
That in the online.
All right, George, go ahead. George.
All right. Where do I start? I'm right here.
All right, go ahead,
Where do
man.
we start? All right, y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, we'll hear you.
Where do I start? Because college football every week they release a poll. Hold on, and I'm not taking sides. I'm being objective. But let's say they've had a big matchup early in the season. Jared, is it when you lose and when you win against certain opponents? Like, let's say, for example, LSU and Alabama are top 10 teams in football, right?
Yeah.
LSU beats them.
Mm-hmm.
LSU beats them. Well, no, I'm sorry, not Alabama, because that's too late in the season. Let me think of something earlier. Texas, maybe? Let's say they play Texas and beat Texas. Then Texas goes on this massive winning streak. LSU hiccups a couple of times. Surely you're not going to keep LSU ahead of them. No, not at all.
No, of course
So
not.
I think it's the timing of losses too, and I think that's what VK's trying to articulate to you is
That's
that
not what he's
when
trying to
teams
articulate.
lose,
It's not. What he
to
trying to
me, it
say is,
seems
let's say there's these teams here that haven't played each other, and 2 and 3 play and 3 wins. Yeah, 3 go to number 1. Yeah, that's cool.
no, they
But
won't.
what I'm saying is when we got teams that ain't played each other, okay, that have played each other, we saying head
Hmm.
to head. All right. He's saying, oh, with 1 and 2 and select one gonna play each other. Well, I'm automatically jump the number 1 team in Division 2 that I have number 1 because they beat the number 2 team. And I'm like, no, that's not fair. Because then all 3 teams then played each other. Go by what
Yeah,
you think is the best team out of all 3. And that looking at schedule, looking at this. That's why I say that's not fair for him to do that.
I, we haven't even got to my top five yet, or even
We ain't
well,
get to your
Not
girl's
at
top
all.
5
We're
we
yet.
about
ain't
to get
even
to it
get into
now.
your girls'
we
top
see,
five
I
because I
told
was
her
going,
about it. We about to get it
I was
on.
going,
I said it.
I was going to tell you the reason. You know what I'm saying? When we get there, you
We
know what I'm
will.
saying?
See, we
Yeah,
hashing it out already, baby. I told y'all.
yeah.
Right.
So we just got different type. Like what George is saying is a good analogy. You know what I'm saying? It depends on timing and everything. And that's what I'm also saying as well. It's timing and too, because the thing is, sometimes with each week in different opponents and performances, you know what I'm saying? Like another question on even one of the top fives and even in the boys was how my 4 and 5 was flipped. And the thing was about that, and I got a legitimate answer for that too, because I'm like, it's
Listen,
all about a lot of times it is about head to head, but also it's about performance. It's about performance each week. And the thing is, sometimes you might have a loss, it takes you down a bit, or
listen.
sometimes you look at the certain wins each week. Okay, you did what you're supposed to do, did what you're supposed to do. Sometimes you might have an eye-opening win against a playoff team or a team that's in the top five.
I'm gonna say this, y'all. VK was on that committee that kicked Florida State out the playoffs when they should have been in it. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that. That's what VK sound like.
Jared, I've been a Florida State all my life, dog. You know I would not be on that committee. I would
That's what that's what your
let me
explanation sound like, though, bro.
man, look, let me tell you something. If I've been in that committee and they vote, I'll be like, I resign and I kick everybody behind in the freaking committee. I'm like, oh, are you serious? So no,
All right.
I'm not that guy.
Here's VK top 5, y'all. Parkway 1, Curtis 2, Walker. These girls, y'all. Parkway 1, Curtis 2, Walker 3, Zachary 4, Walsman 5. I'll let VK talk about his top 5, and then I'll
All
dive
right.
in.
All right. Zachary got into the top five and everything else. They really earned their way. That's why they are in there.
A
Um,
consolation prize.
whatever. Walker, I put him up to number 3. They had a huge win against East Ascension. East Ascension has some huge wins on their schedule, and that was a big bounce back win for Walker. That's why they're number 3.
That was a
Curtis is at
blowout
number
win.
2, which is here. Here's the question everybody asks you: why you have Curtis ahead of Zachary? Which Zachary, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got a win and everything else. And yeah, they deserve to be in the top 5. Why they're not ahead of Curtis? Curtis beat beat a team that is number 2 in their whole division. So that was basically a 1 versus 2 matchup. So with that being said, that's why they are number 2. You know, it's I always say it's not just about head to head is one thing, but also about matchups. Because if you have a big matchup and you win a head-to-head battle, that right there you get consideration. And a lot
Mm,
of times, like I said, that's why you had the end of the season proceedings to
that's
see,
why
hey,
Walsman should be
here's
way up there. Then you going by that, right? Walsman should be
huh,
up in your top 5. Then you going by that.
Bob,
Walsman
Bob,
and plays Zachary, Walker, and Curtis.
when it come down to playoff
Not Walker,
seedings,
Parkway. Parkway twice.
oh, yeah, yeah. I'm like this. If it comes down to playoff seedings, Wasserman is way up there. Absolutely, they
And
way
number
up there,
1.
especially when it come down to playoff season. Yes, yes, it will come down to playoff season. Yes, they'll be way up there. But we're talking about top 5 each and every week.
Yeah, I disagree with this top 5, y'all. I do.
It's fine.
Now,
It don't matter to me.
No, I know it don't matter. I mean, I know. Now, if he just say Walker's strength of schedule is why they number 3, okay, I can understand that. I can with the one loss. But no, man, Walsman didn't beat Curtis. They beat Zachary. There's no, and they all 3 didn't played the best of the best. There's no way Walsman is below those 2. No way. Strongly disagree. Strongly. I do. Parkway number 1, yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. But no, I don't have Yardies on my list. That's why I disagree. They both have played great. They both have great strength of schedule. But then Walsman has beaten Curtis and Zachary, and they beat Parkway too. That's just me. That's just me. So now the first half of the top teams in Louisiana, the girls, as we hashing it out. We're gonna move to the boys now, and I'm gonna start with Mr. VK Jones. Boys number 1, one and only VK Jones. Oh, before we get to that, VK, I do want to ask you a question.
Yes,
It's about your girls. Let's go back right quick.
yes, sir.
Last week, Walker was number 1 on your list. You dropped him to number 5. Edna Carr was number 2. Why is Edna Carr out your top 5?
Well,
I'm trying to compare how you dropped Walker to 5 and Edna Carr all the way out. That's all.
it was the fact that there was other teams that that top that game right then and there, especially those top 2 and everything. It was going to be really hard to just keep them in top, especially the way you look at Zachary's schedule and how they've been coming along, and also it's hard to just especially with way Walsman is continuing to really dominate and handle business and everything, and these teams has a little bit of a better resume than in the car and everything else. If in the car would be if they would have won the ball game, which was a really interesting game and competitive in itself, and then Carl would be still on the top 5. It was just the fact that it was going to be kind of hard to keep him on there with the other 3 right there, especially Walker, Zachary, and Walsman, which in the car, hopefully they're rescheduling one of the games. I know they'll be facing Walker
The Zachary
at
game
the
is
end of the
canceled.
year. Yeah,
Zachary
the
game is
Zachary
canceled, but
games
they still got Walker. That's the
still
last
got
game.
Walker on the schedule. Yeah, exactly. So
Would
they'll still have Walker coming up on that schedule.
would you if Edna Carr would have won, would you would have dropped Curtis out the top 5 if Edna Carr beat Curtis?
To be honest with you, yes.
Okay. All right, cool. I no issues with that. All right, guys, and everybody watching, let's get to VK boys. Here we go. All right, VK boys top 5. Here we go. He got Zachary number 5. He got STM St. Thomas More number 4. He has Liberty number 3. He has Catholic of Baton Rouge number 2. And the team he had last week that was number 3 is now number 1, Archbishop Shaw. Shaw getting the win over the Zachary Broncos. Talk about your list, VK.
Well, talking about the list here, let's start on the bottom and everything. I know Mr. Pepper's kind of kept questioning me about how you got STM over Zachary and Zachary beat STM.
We both questioned you
Well,
that one. We both
yeah,
questioned you on
I'm sorry, Jared, you did question me on that too.
that. Mhm.
The reason why, okay, you know, and George, I have nothing against Zachary. If I had something against Zachary, Zachary would not be in the top 5. So Zachary's still on there for a reason,
You left
right?
the
So they're
boys
on
out
there
the
for a
first
reason.
time we put them up there. You left the girls out, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just saying,
Mm,
you know.
No, like I said,
Conspiracy, baby, conspiracy.
whatever. But like I said, I have number of respect for Zachary. They played a hell of a game. They had a hell of a comeback in that ball game last Friday, despite Shaw winning that game. And I had to put him at 5. Now, STM, the reason why I moved them up, Zachary Laws, STM has won 11 straight. They gotta go up. You've lost, you gotta come down. They're not our top 5. Zachary's still right there, but STM has moved up. Like I mentioned, STM has won 11 straight. We cannot ignore that. We cannot ignore that. Okay. Now, Liberty, number 3, Catholic, number 2. Now, the reason why I put Shaw at number 1. Okay. Now, I understand about the head-to-head. Yeah, Liberty got Shaw in the head-to-head. But Shaw has faced Liberty, Catholic, and Zachary. Shaw has a 2-1 record against the big 3 in this top 5. And that's why they are number 1.
Who's the one in that? Who's the one
I know
that gave
who's the
Shaw that
one.
loss in that 2-1? Who's the one?
I know who gave him that loss. I know.
Who is it? I'm asking.
Why you gotta ask me that question? I know who it is. Liberty.
Oh damn!
I know who it
All
is.
this sensitive. I know. Why you got that question? I'm just asking for our fans. They might want to know who's the 2-1.
All right. Liberty did, like I mentioned, I did say head to head. Liberty did beat Archbishop Shaw, but at the same time, Shaw has a 2-1 record against those big 3 in Catholic, Liberty, and Zachary. And then on top of that, it was a top 5 matchup for them to win. And also, it was the fact that Shaw was number 1 and Zachary was number 1 in the division. So it's a 1v1 matchup. So with that being said, they got to get the jump. Now maybe it could have went to 2, but I'm like, I looked at it. They have a winning record against probably the 3 best teams outside of New Orleans. 3 best teams is probably in the state. You go 2-1, and especially a very good schedule that Shaw has. That's why Shaw is number 1, Catholic number 2, and Liberty is number 3. But Liberty and Catholic will battle each other this Friday night. And at the same time, to be honest with you, they one of them could go number 1. It's just the fact it's a top 5.
You already said they're going number 1. You already said the winner going number 1. You already said that.
Winner going number 1. It's just the fact that it's a top 5 matchup.
That ain't right to me.
It's go to me. It's to me. If you look at everything, that's why you look at the playoff seedings. That's where resume
right now. I'm worried about the top 5. How we looking at it, and then those.
I can understand.
If Catholic beats Liberty, those top 3 on your list, they all beat each other. And I think you just can't go by Catholic beating Liberty. You got to look at everything. Like, okay, who has Shaw played in the top 5? How many wins against them? I think I look at all that. That's why I say I'm not going to just have them.
I don't understand why we can't reward a team that has won against. We're not talking about a team going against a playoff team or a team going against a top 10 team or a team in the top 15. We're talking about a team going against a number 1 team. We're talking about a number 1 going against a number 1, or a top 5, or number 5 going against a number 4, or a number 3 going against a number 2, or 2 versus 1. Why are we not rewarding that? That's what I know.
Because right now, like I just said, those 3 teams have played one another. It'd be different if, let's just say, Liberty didn't play Shaw and now they're about to play Catholic. I can understand that. But with the 3 teams playing each other, no, that's more you got to dive into, to me, to decide who's number 1. That's just it. Now, to go back to your STM 11 win thing, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. That's great. 11 wins in a row. They're getting better. Cool. But a 30-something point loss to Zachary? They played head-to-head. A 30-something point loss to Zachary.
But you're not going to reward STM for not the fact of just winning 11 straight. They won last week. Zachary lost.
Lost to Zachary. They lost.
It doesn't matter. I understand, but it doesn't matter. Zachary lost.
It does matter. So hold on. You saying it don't matter? That right there tells me you don't care about head-to-head. You saying it doesn't matter.
No,
that's saying you don't care about head-to-head right there.
I am going.
Head-to-head don't matter to you right now.
Listen,
George, you can chime in, George. Come on.
Hold on. You're going by the formula. Here's the thing. I can understand the formula you're going on, Jared. You're going on the whole. That's what you're
Everything.
going on.
Everything.
I get it. I get it. I'm going along, not just the whole, I'm going along with week per week. Because to me,
I'm going for week to
sometimes
week too,
there
but
are
I'm looking at
certain
everything.
wins, that stomp the other team's wins. And that's just what it is. That
Where's
sometimes
the
help the that
win stump
sometimes
Zachary?
help the tremendous that sometimes help the strength of schedule tremendously a lot of times. Just saying, but yep, I see what you're
I know
saying. The
Zachary
third,
went to
third,
Texas and beat
Zachary
two of
won
them
by
teams already.
30. Zachary won by 30. Okay, but you're still gonna give them a higher ranking than STM, and he lost last week. That's not right. Now that's not right.
It is right. What you mean it's not right?
That's
It
not.
is right.
You gonna
I mean,
still
here we go.
reward a
19
team
and
that
3 and
lost?
20 and 3.
Oh my
19 and 3,
God,
20
man!
and
What kind
3.
of
Who
system
beat
you
who out
running?
of those two teams? Zachary beat that STM team. It is right. George, you can chime in.
No, I'm
I
actually
know
go
I
ahead.
can. I know I can. I'm just waiting to see when my man's going to tell.
Go ahead.
First of all, the exact score was 79-46 opening night. Zachary over St. Thomas More. Under no formula can I put STM ahead of Zachary because they got their brakes beat off of them. Under zero formula, there ain't no mathematics or math science or any of that. And look, all love to Danny Broussard as we gave him his accolades last week for being named to coach the McDonald's All American game. Can't wait to see that happen. Couldn't happen to a better guy. He's a really awesome man, and
He is.
he's a great coach, but
Yes.
he's a really awesome person. Even at his advanced age, he still has that spark and that energy that you
Oh
want
yeah.
to see.
That passion.
That's a
Yes.
beautiful thing, and his kids are so respectful. We saw them at the Alario Center last year.
Yep.
Um,
And he was sick.
so
He wasn't even there. He was sick.
yeah, I know. But talking about the kids, they was playing for him and everything else.
Yep.
And then Liberty at 3 behind Catholic. They play each other this week, right? Who's
Right.
hosting that game?
Liberty.
Yeah, I think
Liberty
it's
is
Liberty.
hosting.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
so.
And Sean, see, Jared, I want to come to you though,
Come on.
because you and I have the same team, number one.
Yeah, I
But the
don't know about
debate that I
I don't
had,
know
and I
yet.
mentioned it in the chat, and now I want to bring it to the forefront
Let's
here.
go.
Okay. Shaw did lose to Liberty, but are you convinced that Liberty is a better basketball team than Shaw? Because remember, it took a collapse by Shaw for Liberty to grab that win. It wasn't that Liberty outplayed them, they just took advantage of a collapse in that game. So I don't know if I'm convinced that Liberty is better than Shaw if they rematch, which they will not because they're in different divisions. But we're going to tell a little bit of the story this week with them and Catholic. Now, do I agree if if Catholic beats Liberty, they go to 1? No, not at all.
Thank you.
I think it's either Shaw or Liberty that's 1 and 2 right now. Catholic's going to have to be more than special to jump either one, i.e., Shaw hiccups down the stretch, which they won't because the remainder of the schedule looks pretty easy. I don't want to say easy because I know Coach Laurentine is going to say something. And speaking of that, Friday night, that was funny. He was in the middle of doing his press interviews and he sees me. He goes, "Well, you hear that we won a ball game," and he come and gave me a hug. VK, you were right next to me when he did it. Um, and I was like, man, it felt like an elephant flew off my shoulder when it got close. When it got to 6 points, the game Friday night against Zachary, when it got to 6, I was thinking of something I'm not going to repeat, because we're a family show. I was like, oh, not again. Here we go. And Shaw hit some big shots, and they are one arguably. I wouldn't begrudge anybody for putting Shaw 1 because I'm not completely 100% thinking Liberty is a better team,
Hmm.
but the fact that they won has them. Well, like, when you put my poll up, you'll see. The fact that they beat Shaw means something to me. Head to head does mean something. And Catholic is Catholic. They're going to be a real problem in Division One Select. Shaw, with that win Friday night, Jared, there should
Hmm.
be. And I don't want to put the degree on Wesley Laurentine in that program because you guys have had issue in the semifinals the last 3 years. But this looks like the breakthrough team. This is reminding me so much of the football team this past fall that when things really broke out, they were clearly the best team in Division Two in football, and they showed it in the dome. I think we're seeing a similar script play out here for basketball. I can't envision a scenario other than the lid being on the rim in the semis. Shaw should be a very, very heavy favorite to win state in Division 2 Select. They should be a heavy favorite to win it.
I
All
got a
right, let's get.
question.
Go
I
ahead.
got a
For
question for the both of y'all. For the both of y'all.
all right,
All right. Now, you mentioned even if Zachary lost, even if Zachary lost, you're talking about STM. The now, George, here's the thing. You mentioned a score from opening night
right.
months ago. Now, this is where we go with the week to week thing. Now, my question is this: Is Zachary would have lost 2 games last week? Do you still have them ranked ahead of STM? Both of y'all. I just want to know. Do you
I'll take it
still
first, Jared.
have
Go right ahead.
I'll take it first because one of the losses was Shaw. Now you would have had to really sell me on the other loss because I think they played a cupcake team somewhere in there last week.
they
Um,
I'm talking about randomly as
He's
in
just
if
saying.
they
He's
would
just
have
saying in
lost
general.
oh,
In
two
just
general.
in
openly
general, they
random. I got you.
lost 2 games. It don't matter who. They
Probably.
just lost 2 games.
I would if you lose 2 games. Yeah, you're probably gone. I mean, look, attrition counts in basketball in any sport. Attrition counts. If the wrong number adds up, you got to accentuate and really just do what you got to do. Yeah, Zachary probably goes away, Jared, for me.
Yeah, 2 losses. They probably go away from me too. Be honest with you, they probably would have went away.
Thank
No
y'all for
lie
your
on
Hmm.
that.
honesty. Thank
So
I'm gonna give y'all respect, man. Thank y'all for your honesty for that. Thank you.
give us respect.
No
we
problem.
Now,
it's out
now,
there.
now, I'm just saying. I know
Thank
I'm
y'all
out
for your
there.
honesty. Where your
No,
honesty at? I'm
I
messing.
don't care.
I'm
I'm
messing.
standing.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm standing
messing.
on 10. So I'm just saying. But I
And then on
appreciate y'all for your
and then on
honesty. Thank you.
six. And
you
then on
should.
6. All right. All right. Here's George Pepper's top 5. Everybody. Um. And where'd he go?
And he disappeared.
Jesus. All right.
Wow.
Yeah. So he has Central Wildcats at number 5. The Central Wildcats. Um. That's right. It's Central Wildcats, right? Not Bearcats.
Yes,
Wildcats. Yeah.
Wildcats.
Okay. He got the Central Wildcats at number 5. He has Zachary number 4. Catholic at 5. He has Shaw at number 2 and Liberty at number 1. All right, George Peppers, talk about why Liberty is number 1 and why Central is in your top 5.
I think Central is the forgotten team in that district. This is a team that has really piled up some wins, and they're going to have some proving ground games here late on in the season that they're going to answer some questions. I put them there because of the reward of the year that they're having. Now, as far as why Liberty is number 1, look, like I said, this is in the chat, and I'm going to say it here. This is razor thin, the margin between these two, because I'm not 100% sold that Liberty was the better team that night. Shaw
Mhm.
had complete control of the proceedings in that game, and they gave it. It was more that Shaw lost than Liberty won. To me, that's the narrative I'm going to punctuate and really stress that Shaw lost that game more than Liberty won. And I can guarantee you, you can ask that coaching staff; they will probably say I'm right. Um, but yeah, for now, Liberty stays 1. Shaw, like I said, it was VK was nail biter close, like to the fungus. Number 1 for me, but I kept there because at the end of the day, a head-to-head win to me means a little bit more.
Your thoughts on George top 5, VK?
I understand where he's coming from with it. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, that Liberty has got that one over Shaw, so I get it. And I get why he's got the top 5 where he is. It's he put Shaw up at number 2. So that's understandable what he has. I like the Central. I like how you put Central in the top 5. Central has been really having some huge wins on that schedule, and they are really, really coming up. And now they're the number 2 power ranking team in Division 1 in the non-select. So this, and I tell you, for one thing in itself, it's gonna come down to the wire in that district. It's gonna really, really come down to the wire, and it could be a 4-team race for the district championship. That's how close that this thing is razor thin more than anything else, because you look at you look at the main and it's funny, the 4 to 5 that we're talking is on Georgia's top five. You look at Cali really coming back with a vengeance after last year. You look at Liberty, the defending state champions. You look at Zachary, who's trying to get back to a vengeance this year, especially how disappointing everything happened in last season. Those three in the general, but then you throw in a 14. And here comes Baton Rouge Central, who is right in the fold. So it is going to be a hellish district.
Well, he has Central. Central's a good team. Couple big wins. I wouldn't have put him there, but he did. But we about to really see what Central is made of. We about to see in this district. We are about to see. So just bear with us, because we are going to see. Now, let's get to my top five. My top five is legit. Let's get to it. Yeah. All right. So now, STM still number 5. Zachary with the loss of Shaw, they stayed at number 4. Catholic stayed at 3. Shaw stayed at 2. Liberty stayed at 1. Now, the Shaw faithful, they were giving me a hard time about Shaw not being number 1. They were telling me all the teams that they beat. I know all the teams they beat. I mean, Catholic, Hannon twice. I get it. Liberty. And majority of them said, we didn't have Alan Shaw. I get it. Alan Shaw is a huge difference maker for that Shaw basketball team. But am I supposed to be like, hey, they didn't have Alan Shaw, I got to put him number 1? I don't think that's fair. That's fair. Number 2, if I was to put the Shaw Eagles number 1, then I would be going against what I've said and what I said last week to VK about head-to-head. Head-to-head matchup is there. Liberty beat Shaw. That's it. Because if I go against it and put Shaw number 1 right now over Liberty, then I am a hypocrite. And I will never, ever be a hypocrite. Not happening. So that's why my list is still the same. Zachary with the huge 30-something point win over STM plays a factor. Now, let me say all this, people. To all my Shaw faithful who attacked me, who questioned me, who made statements about why Shaw should be number 1. Even the Shaw teacher looked at me and was like, threw the 1 up. He's nodding his head like, hey, we number 1. I get it. And I don't have no problem with any of y'all feeling that way. It's great that y'all feel that way. And oh man, Jocks Boudreaux, where you been, man? Where you been, Jocks Boudreaux? We good, brother. We good over here. We having a very, very strong debate right now. Now, back to this. Because I got the wrong caption up. Good Lord, that's how much we was going at it. But anyway, I'll be a hypocrite. Okay. Um, this gives something everybody to talk about. And obviously, a lot of the Shaw people were talking about it. Grateful. Thank you. But let me say this. District 458 is about to get on. Man, about to be on and popping in District 458. With Liberty and Catholic playing this Friday night. Zachary got to play Catholic and Liberty. It's about to be on. So it's very possible, my Shaw faithful, and maybe come next week, if Catholic defeats Liberty, and I'll do some studying, looking at everything, the schedules and everything, looking at all that, it may be possible. And I say, oh man, to me, Shaw's schedule is better. Shaw goes number 1. It's possible. We'll see. We'll see, because they about to beat each other up. It's happening. I don't see Shaw lose another game. I think Landry will give Shaw another run for their money when they play Monday, next Monday. I think Landry gets Shaw a run for their money. But other than that, I don't think Shaw lose a game. Not at all. So I'm not going to criticize Shaw and hurt Shaw by moving them down due to what's in front of them when they have wins over Zachary and Catholic. I'm not going to do that. So we'll see come next week what happens. If Liberty beats Catholic, well, guess what, y'all? I'm not going to move Liberty. They got the head-to-head win over Shaw. That's just it. But I will say this: what we saw from Shaw on Friday night, it was their most impressive win this whole year. Most impressive. It's even more impressive than them beating Catholic. Very impressive. Got up to a 24-point lead over Zachary. It was impressive. And the atmosphere was just so electric. But enough of that about that now. What you want to say about my top five, VK? Let's go. Let's go. Roll my sleeves up some more for VK, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. What you got, VK?
Man, I'm like this. Your standard is your standard. That's all it is. Your standard is your standard. I have my own standard. And some people might think I might be a hypocrite. I'm not. I'm standing where my standard is. And Jared's gonna stand on his, and that's what it is right there. That's his top five. You could, Liberty. I got you. I got you. I got you. I get you. You might not like my top five or whatever, but we all go with different standards, and that's
I
just
disagree with it.
what
Let's
it
go.
is. You just disagree. You just disagree with it, and I disagree with it. So it is what it is. I just sometimes like, because I learned over the years a lot of times, when you at the end of the year, that's when resume really matters. But I get it, but this top five is of Jared Boyd standards, JB standards, and that's just what it is. He's got Zachary ahead of STM. Where you had Zachary at last week? You had him.
My list didn't
Three?
change.
Oh,
That
your
list
list
didn't
didn't
change.
change.
It did not change. My boys
Okay,
and girls did not change at all.
okay, okay. Right. The on I'm gonna respect him on 1 and 2. The only thing I kind of disagree with is 4 and 5. But I understand where you're getting with 4 and 5. My thing is, it's amazing that we cannot penalize a team that has a bad week. That's unbelievable, but
What team
it's
had a
what
bad week?
it's what your standard is.
What team had a bad week?
Now I'm saying I'm saying the fact that
I just
you
said if Zachary lost 2 games, I would have dropped him.
no, but I'm glad you said that. I'm not saying I'm saying like regardless of the fact they did lose, but for you saying they 2 games you drop them, that's good honesty. It's just the fact with me, when you lose and a team is continuing to win, it's the fact sometimes you got to reward. Sometimes people got to go down. I don't have Zachary on my top five, but I get where he's coming from. I just don't agree with 4 and 5, but everything else, it is what it is. But I am kind of convinced and understanding about why you got Shaw at 2. So I definitely understand.
All right, news right here. Catholic Bears got their 25th victory today over Madison Prep, 52-50.
Good game. Really good game. Good game out there. Not surprising how this game was going to be. It was going to be really close because Jeff Jones was going to really have that team ready to play and everything else. That was really a tight one, and that's a big win for Coach Derek Jones in a competitive game to really prepare them for Friday night.
George Peppers. Anything you want to say about my top five?
Really? I mean, we're in agreement for five. I don't. I can't believe that because look at that winning streak. Look at it. 5-1.
Yeah, whoever kicked him out, thank you, Lord. freaking
That
internet
wi
stuck.
that
Internet.
Wi-Fi is, oh
God,
God,
gee,
man. Like,
is he even using Wi-Fi? He might be just using his phone. I don't know, man. That
if he
uh,
using his phone, I'm
God,
like, no, you got to make sure you. I know knowing that wireless where he's at's got to be better than it is. It's not really that
God,
bad. If Manny can get stuff working, I know he can. So
you gotta get Manny to work with him, man. Jesus. Yeah, Austin, you got that Bell South internet. Yeah. All right.
Bell
Oh,
South, wow.
yeah. All right, George Peppers, are you there? George Peppers.
GP, don't see him on the
All
screen.
right, we moving
Go
on. We moving on. We getting out of here. All right, we done with the top five. We hashed it out. I won. All right, moving on.
you think he won?
You
Okay,
wait. You
okay.
wait till the text message and then everything I get. I'm gonna
Man,
show you. I'm gonna
man,
show you.
it
Trust
don't
me.
it don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. I'm all I know. I'm gonna stand on 10, and that's just what it is.
That you always do. That you always do. You stand. You stand on six. All
Yeah,
right.
I guess that's my line. Master manners. Stand on 6. I think that's a new T-shirt. Stand on 6.
Stand on six. There you go. Just for you. All right. All right. So, um, Yashika asks, why Walker not number one for, I guess, you and I, VK? Well, the loss to Denham Springs, number one, and then they hadn't played the type of big time teams that the other teams played, in my opinion. So that's why I dropped them.
I'm the same way, Sheik. I'm Jared took the words out of my mouth. It's same thing with me. And the reason why I put them at number 5 last week was the fact when they lost to Denham Springs and the way they played, they did come back, but the way they started off, they did not look like no number one team. So that's just me. But they moved up. That East Ascension win is a very good win for them. So that's why they moved up. But that's why they're not the other teams that's played better teams.
All right. Charles Allen says, Jared, bro, just turn in your alumnus card. We have future young fellas that would love to get that Gray Shaw alumnus card. Let me tell you something, Charles Allen,
Uh-oh.
right quick. All right.
Get him,
Since
Charles.
since you this is Charles trolling. He likes to troll at times, okay? I'm gonna always keep it fair. I'm gonna keep it honest. I'm not gonna be biased. Okay? They lost to Liberty. They both have played great teams, both of them, but they lost to Liberty. Yes, they beat Catholic. They beat Zachary. Yes, they beat Hannon twice. There are a bunch of teams that they have beaten. They have. Well, here's Liberty, a powerhouse in the state that has also beaten a couple good teams, and Shaw is one of them. So that's why. Okay, that's it. I'm not just gonna ever put. Yeah, I know you trolling. Yeah, you busted. I'm done with you, Charles. All
Appreciate you,
right,
Charles.
all right. Here we go, man. Let's get to the our last topic, everybody, and we out of here. We'll be quick on this. The NBA trade that happened the other night. Luca for AD, man. I never saw a major impact star like Luca just up and get traded like this. AD's a star too, but Luca is a generational talent. I didn't see this coming. What is George? George, you there? I don't think George even know he's on, bro.
Mr. Peppers.
Yeah, I don't think even know he's on. All right, well, we'll just move George out for now. All right. So I didn't see this coming. This was a shocker to me. The Laker the Lakers they have no defense. Period. Now with AD going, there's no defense. Luca doesn't play defense. So I also look at it that the Lakers are saying we moving on with our future franchise player. We got our future franchise player, Luka Doncic. I look at it as that also. As far as the Mavericks, you get better defensively. You do. You do. That's just it. You get better defensively. People say they got the Mavericks going to the Western Conference Finals again. I don't know. We'll see. But who won the trade right now? I think right now, immediate future, I would say Dallas with AD and his defense, his rebounding. But the future, maybe the Lakers. We'll see. I don't know, but I was very shocked when I saw this trade happen. VK.
Uh, well, we are all shocked. It was in the late the late of the night. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like we were about to go to bed, and we're hearing that. I mean, my goodness, man, I just can't believe it. That's just unbelievable in itself. Uh, man, I just you know, to me, looking at the whole thing, Dallas brings in a person that is getting past his prime. And yeah, he is playing more games than a little bit. He's starting to get a little more consistent, but it could have been he could have been doing what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? He's AD is such an up and down player. Such an up and down player. And for him to bring him in at 32, I don't know what the Mavericks were thinking. And I think this is a brand new low that they had
and
went
he's
under.
still in his prime. He's still in his prime. Early
Late because
30s. He's still in his prime.
we'll see because he didn't went through a lot of injuries and everything else, and it
All
was
right.
hard
He's
for him
still
to
all
stay
star
healthy.
every year. Still an all star every year.
Man, look, it's hard to trust him, but at the same time, he is still a talent. Don't get me wrong, he's still a talent. But at the same time, like to me, I don't. To be honest, like Dallas, how could you do what they did? It's stupid. They have went through a lot of ups and downs in that franchise in itself.
Hey, let me stop you
For
right quick.
what?
Coach Willie Brooks, I see you, man. Congratulations. The new head coach of the John Era Patriots. I see you, Coach Brooks. Congratulations.
Congratulations, coach. Yeah. So looking at it, you look at it in the past, you look at a lot of talent went through Dallas and they got rid of some of them. Then you went through losing seasons in the past. Then you went through the Sean Bradley damn project and everything else. And then all of a sudden, Mark Cuban takes over the team, and all of a sudden, he goes all in. In some way, somehow, the Dallas Mavericks finally get a world title, become a contender almost every year. For Nico Harrison to make a deal, and not just the fact that he went ahead and pulled the trigger, he got poked to get to pull this trigger, not
Wait,
get
you
nothing
say you got
extra.
punked? You say you got punked?
Not I'm gonna say this, not bullied, but as in like joked, like thinking that oh, they could have got more than AD. They just got him. It's almost like you trading a pound or a couple of things. It's almost like when Paul Gasol came to the Lakers and what deal that was. Like this is just like what is Dallas doing to? And to me, it's almost like they basically, to me, gave up the freaking season because come
You
on,
think
man,
Dallas gave up the season?
yes,
No,
because
I don't think so.
I think they did because to me, you don't trade a generational talent like that for one and for two,
You don't trade
and
away the franchise player. That I
but
agree with. I
but
agree with.
but not just that, a person with finals experience. You want to do that? Really? Like I understand AD has won the title, but it's been a
Kyrie,
minute since the
Kyrie got finals experience.
that's true. But at the same time, him and Luca got that connection.
Had
We
a
don't
connection. You
know.
correct.
We don't
But they
know.
said they did this
We don't
trade.
know.
Dallas did this trade because they wanted defense. They figured with a
Man, that
defensive
man,
presence, they
man,
can get further.
man, that Dallas lost their god dog on mine. That's all I know. You don't do something like that. You don't do that. I don't care what anybody say. You don't do that.
Boy, it'd be
That
funny
is
if
a
Dallas
donor.
win the championship, boy. I'm gonna come back to
Man,
this.
I'm like this. Nobody won the trade. Nobody. If both of these teams do not make it deep in the playoffs, people are going to go back to this video and everybody going to say, God dog, VK was right on this. I'm telling you, this is not good. This is not a good thing to do. I'm like this. LeBron and Luca is almost the same exact player. They might be a good combination, maybe, but they're the same exact player. some is just not
Ain't the same
right with
exact
this.
player, but
It don't.
I see
It
how you
don't.
see it, though, but they not.
It does not. It just does not mix with both of these teams. I do not see success for either of these teams at all. I don't see it. Nobody won this trade, in my opinion.
Man,
And
AD going
Dallas,
back to the 4. AD going back to the 4.
man,
He ain't
look,
playing the 5 with Lively and your other boy that's at Dallas. AD going to the
and
4.
he's probably going to the four. And you're right. He's probably gonna go back and play the four. But let's see if he can get back to what he was before. But all I know, man, none of this is gonna help. That
Well,
to
this pick
me,
and
what
roll got to work. That pick and roll with Kyrie and AD gonna be tremendous. I'm telling you, it's gonna be tremendous. George,
I'm not buying it.
I know
So
you're not. You will.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not buying it.
Time for basketball 101, right? Time to educate. Remind me now, VK, who went to the finals out of the Western Conference last year to play the Boston Celtics?
Why you gonna ask that
The
question?
team
I know
that
that.
would be the Dallas Mavericks, sir.
Man, go with the man. Answer the question, man. You getting all out of
I'm
shape.
not
Why you
answering.
asking that question? Come on, man.
I'm not answering the
All right,
question.
I'm setting this up. The
I understand.
Mavericks.
Look, the Mavericks is
Okay,
winning. Go ahead.
Yeah, he setting it
now,
up for his thing. That's all.
now, what was Dallas's Achilles heel in the final? Post defending. They could not. They didn't have enough bodies in the post to defend. And yet, I'm going to address that comment in a second. But their issue in the finals against the Celtics, when the Celtics were going dribble drive, the post defenders were not quick enough to the ball. Anthony Davis gives them a presence down there. He's going to play the 4. And you talk about Gafford, the other guy with Lively.
Yeah.
And then you got Clay Thompson on the. Look at the kick out. If you dump it to AD or Lively, they can kick it out to Kyrie. Clay. Clay's having a nice little year down in Dallas.
Clay
I
washed up,
think
bro.
the Mavericks clearly won
Clay
this
washed
trade.
up.
Clearly. The Lakers, I'll make you a bold salvo. You want playoff lack of success? Los Angeles is going out in the first round. Line up whoever you want. They're gone. Because their tallest post guy is now, what, 6'6, 6'7? They just got rid of the only post dude they got. And you can't sit here and tell me Jackson Hayes is going to be a stopper on the inside. Stop
Oh
it.
no, indeed not. No,
Stop that.
indeed not.
I mean, come on. Let's call reality. The Lakers are done. They are, and Nico Harrison said what he said, and then Jason Kidd, Austin just said in the chat that Jason had that looked like that constipation look. But Jason Kidd, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Look at the options you got. Look at what you're gonna do. The Western Conference is loaded. It is very good. The Nuggets, the Suns with Beal, unless they move Bradley Beal this week, we'll see. Or maybe they will get Jimmy Butler. We'll see. Um, Oklahoma City, we forgot about the Thunder. I mean, all of us. But guess what? 2 wins in a row. Who's got Oklahoma City? Dallas. Beat them twice. In the 7 games that Oklahoma City has played, they went 5-2. The 2 L's was to the Mavericks, and that was before AD got traded. All I'm saying is the Mavericks are not a bad investment to get back to the finals out of the Western Conference. And with Anthony Davis on the inside, problem, a major problem. And for the Lakers, all you got to do is punch it inside, and Jackson gonna be hacking left and right. And then what? What they gonna go to? Some dude off the G League, whoever it is, the backup next to Jackson. Unless they make a move at the deadline, the Lakers are not getting out of the first round. So to me, on the surface, the Mavericks trade, and it may be a crazy take, Jared. It may be, but because Luca's 25 and AD's 2.
Yep.
But look at the scenario. Look at the
31.
situation. 31, I'm sorry. But look at the situation that they both go into. Now the Lakers are forced to have to hit shots on the outside, and they probably can, with the shooter, with the guys that they have. But there are going to be
Mm-hmm.
teams that are going to make them collapse and dump it inside on Jackson. This is not jump shooting basketball. This is basketball. You got to play in and out. And the Mavericks have that ability. And Jason Kidd has been a champion before as a coach. Why can't he do it again?
Well, time will tell. Time will
Time
tell.
will
Go ahead.
tell.
Exactly.
And you look at the standings. more than anything else, you think the Mavericks gonna get back to the finals, George? Right now, they are ninth. The
That's
Mavericks
okay.
are ninth. They gotta
Again,
go through playing. And right now, and you
you're
look at
right.
the they beat the Thunder, but the Thunder are
Twice.
38 and freaking 9.
Okay.
38 and 9.
Okay, but Dallas
They
got two
are
of those. Dallas
20
put two of them
games.
L's on them.
VK, just to piggyback off of that, the Thunder was the number 1 seed last year,
Yes, they did,
and they
and they
lost to
And
got and
Dallas.
gone.
they lost to Dallas. You're right,
But that
but
don't mean nothing.
that don't mean nothing this year. I'm just saying it's the fact that here it is. I'm like this.
And they're
The
missing.
Lakers,
And they're missing. VK. Chet Holmgren is out now. Again, he can't stay
yeah,
healthy,
you're
so
right.
that could be a
He's
problem.
been
If
in and
he
out the
don't make it
lineup.
back for the playoffs, that could be a problem.
It could be a problem. And you're right. It could be a problem. My biggest thing is the Lakers. Yeah, they probably will be out the first round. The Mavericks, you better show me better than you can tell me. I'm sorry, they're not making it. I'm telling you now, Dallas. This is going to be a detriment more than anything else. I'm telling you, I didn't see too many trades. The only detriment trade we have seen as bad as this, go back to the 90s where the Atlanta Hawks had the best record in the NBA and they traded Dominique Wilkins. What in the world they were thinking? And they lost in the second round. Danny Manning, really? This is going to be a detriment to Dallas. And I'm telling you, you can say they might get, I might be wrong, but at the same time, I'm not trusting this. You don't trade a generational player for just peanuts. You don't do that.
So whoa,
Like I
Anthony
said,
Davis is peanuts.
Look, I would have
Come
got
on.
more. I would have got more than Anthony Davis. That's a
Who on the
top.
Lakers do you
That's
want?
that's a top 3 pick in
it's
the
the it's
Oh,
the it's
draft,
the
oh,
it's
okay.
the,
George.
it's the
With
first round
the
the first
franchise in
round
the
draft picks.
finals.
First round
Yeah,
draft
and they
picks.
got that. They got that at 29 first, protected.
No, what
No,
people
they
are
should have got
saying that
Davis.
Dallas should ask for more.
They should have got more. They only
If
got Anthony
you
Davis.
want
That's
Luca,
it.
give me that first round, give me that first round too. It's
Exactly.
like with the Pelicans. You want
That
AD? Give me them players and give me them first rounds.
that's why I said the
Now,
GM
I don't know if you
got
guys are
more.
seeing the buzz that the Pelicans, and I saw this a little while ago. Brandon Ingram is drawing interest from three teams: Toronto, Atlanta,
Uh,
and there's a third team in the mix,
everybody
but I
on
don't
the
know who.
Pelicans team is up for grabs to be traded. Everybody,
As
except
they
for
should.
Dejounte Murray now with the Achilles injury, so he's stuck
To an
there.
ACL.
Yeah,
How
no
about the trade
Achilles.
your guys made yesterday, Jaron? I like that move for San
Yes,
Antonio.
yes,
Getting
yes.
De'Aaron
And we
Fox.
still got Chris
That is a good
Paul.
move.
Oh,
Exactly. But you
that's a
got
good
De'Aaron
move.
Fox in that mix now.
Yes.
Spurs can make a little bit of a run here. I don't think there'll be a major impact in the playoffs because I think the youth is too much, and but I feel like the pieces are there now. Wembanyama is Wembanyama. Boy, he would look good in a Knicks uniform in a couple of years. Just saying. Um, you know, oh, you shaking your head? No, there you
They
go, hater,
they might
hater.
they might get a nice looking half run. They're just 4 games out of 500, so they
Hmm.
if they get on the second half run, the Spurs might be a factor. I'm gonna definitely say
Yeah,
that. We didn't see
definitely.
teams before that had some huge second half runs, so
Hmm.
I'm gonna give that respect
But
to your
I
team.
like that
That's a
trade they made
good
though.
trade.
I
It's a
like the
really
go
good
for it
trade.
mindset that they had yesterday. Getting Darren Fox, and what did they give up? Some not scrubs, but
Not
you
much.
know,
Couple players, but wasn't much. And wasn't
couple of decent players,
main
but
players.
nothing
But it
like
was
you.
great. It was
Yeah,
great. All
I
right.
mean it's bench depth, but it's not guys that you're like, well, we can replace that, and that's what this week is. Yes,
So
indeed. Just looking
all
at
right.
Troy's comment.
Yeah, my boy Troy. All right. We gotta end this show, everybody. We gotta end this
That's
show. So before we go, this Friday night, we make our debut streaming basketball games. The Hash It Out Show will have Holy Cross taking on the St. Augustine Purple Knights this Friday night. You can catch it on the YouTube page of JB the Sports Guy. And then Monday night, once again, we're streaming another one. The Bonneville Bruins taking on the Hornville Tigers. So back at work for the
Ga-
Hash It Out Show crew. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Is that game at Bonneville or at Hahnville, the Monday night game?
Is that Bonneville?
Okay.
Is that
All
Bonneville?
right. Good.
I'll make sure I send you everything. I know you got my message, so we should
Yeah, I
be
heard it.
we should go.
I got everything. I got you.
Cool.
So that being said, we'll see y'all next week. We'll be back next week. Definitely be back on Wednesday of next week. Definitely be back on Wednesday. Tuesday, we'll see. But Wednesday for sure, we'll be back next week right here on the Hash It Out Show. For VK Jones, for George Peppers, I am JB the Sports Guy. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all take care.
Happy Super Bowl week.
I'm Coach Ramirez L. Page, the head football coach at John F. Kennedy.
JFK Martial Arts offers a wide variety of martial arts programs for kids, teens, and adults as they empower lives through martial arts. Please give them a call at 985 266 0664 and don't forget to ask about their 1 week free special. Feeling drained from the constant noise in your daily life? Immerse yourself in pure audio bliss with drums. Experience a world of crystal clear sound, free from distractions. Discover the ultimate relaxation and escape into an oasis of serenity. Grab yours today. drumsworld.com.
If you're looking for the best pizza in Metro New Orleans, then you're in the right place. Moe's Pizza has a great selection of Italian food that can satisfy your appetite, and they can also cater to your needs in any event. Give them a call at 504-341-9650 or log on to www.moespizzanola.com, located at 1112 Avenue H in West Wego, Louisiana. Moe's Pizza, Italians do it better.
All right, folks, as we kick off tonight's football game, let's take a moment to talk about something just as important as a winning playbook, your financial future. Kaylin Parker, a financial advisor with Magnolia Wealth Strategies, is here to help you stay financially fit off the field. From retirement and estate planning to investment management and even insurance needs, Kaylin Parker is here to help you. Reach out to Kaylin at 504-613-2161 or at cparker@financialguide.com.